Welcome to the life of being an otaku. It's definitely one of the most expensive hobbies out there when it comes to the market. And as I'm sure a lot of you have hobbies for yourself, and for those of you that watch my video, you may realize just how expensive it is, especially with all the merchandise videos I put out or just the research you've done yourself. PVC is not cheap when it comes to figurines. Character goods, circle artists, they all charge an arm and a leg when it comes to their material, especially in the aftermarket if it's a very rare item. And so this hobby can get quite expensive, and I've been in a lot of hobbies growing up, collecting video games and video game systems, to nerd board games, to this. And I've been doing this since about 2013, and let me tell you, it's definitely been a bumpy ride sometimes, but basically, I just wanted to make a video to just kind of reminisce about those past 3 years and talk a little bit about my channel, and just about being an otaku in general. Now, this video will also contain some merchandise in it. Thought, why the heck not? I got a Row 500 1/3 scale from S-Mist I got to show you. A garage kit in this case that I'm really excited to get painted sometime around next year. I have some posters I ended up printing from my vendor, which I'm really excited to try and find room to hang up, even though I'm really kind of out of wall space. And then also this t-shirt that I'm currently wearing, which I'll show you a little more detail of. Yes, it's quite a ridiculous t-shirt. I'm sure you have seen the large-breasted female in my t-shirt, but don't worry, it's safe for work. There's no nipples. Anyways, this video is basically going to talk about my hobby and being an otaku in general and what it really means to me. And I'll keep it quite brief because I don't really want to bore you to death with all the details. But essentially, I was thinking the other day about the word pervert in my mind, and I got myself questioning, which I'm sure you've seen in previous videos. What does that word really mean to us? Have you ever actually heard it being used in real life? Has any female actually called a male a pervert? Has any male called a female a pervert? Can you even call a female a pervert? Like, I guess you can, but it's just not something you really hear as often. And I don't really hear it from other people because I think people in general have decent common sense to know that they keep things to themselves, especially when it comes to 2D. Most people are socially incapable of communicating with people and or are very introverted, and they get social anxiety when talking to others. That's not necessarily a bad thing. I've said this in previous videos of mine, but you know, it can lead to a lot of seclusion. And that being said, I don't really think that people really go around calling other people perverts because you normally keep it to yourself. And as I've said in previous videos, I think there's a good perversion for being a good pervert, which I feel I fall under, and then there's also creepy perverts, which are not really okay. Now, I'm not going to go into a full boring lecture about pervertism, but, and that's a word I just made up, but the word itself is actually really interesting because it derives from a Latin root, per vertere. Now, I apologize if I butchered that. It's been a long time since I did my 3 semesters of Latin in college for fun. I know that V's are pronounced as W's. I don't know if the stress was right on that. But essentially the word means to turn away. Vertere means to turn, and per as a suffix, a prefix, can have many different meanings, but when combined with turn, it means literally turn away. And turn away morally is basically where it comes from. And the idea is that back then with Catholicism, if you turned away from the church, you were considered a pervert. It can be used for that context to this day. But most of the time when you think of a pervert, you think of somebody that is not socially accepted when it comes to sexuality. Now, when you look at all otaku goods, especially with Japan, I have half-naked women with their butts hanging out, very large tits that are actually impossible and defy gravity, figurines and character goods that go above and beyond what you would consider sane. I mean, you saw the giant-ass mousepad. But the honest truth is, does it make me feel less of a person? No, I don't feel less of a person. But do I feel I'm being judged all the time? Oh, hell yes. You always feel like you're being judged. And I normally say I don't care what other people think, but especially as a male, when it comes to other females, you definitely feel like you're being judged. Because people might think you're creepy for liking this kind of stuff, but I'm a pretty talkative guy. I'm pretty extroverted, and I normally just keep the hobby to myself, and I'm okay with sharing it. I like wearing t-shirts. Probably would never wear this one in public, to be honest. Just due to public decency, basically. But, you know, I'll wear t-shirts in public. It doesn't really bother me. I have these crazy tattoos on my arms I'm sure you've seen before. And so really it doesn't bother me as much. But do I feel I'm judged? Oh, hell yeah. Every day. Every day you feel you're being judged. And I've gotten a lot better when it comes to managing things, but, you know, figurines I still collect, and it just has gotten further and further, or I guess I should say deeper and deeper into this hobby. Well, I have gotten deeper and deeper into this hobby. And it originally started with a couple figurines. Then it got into more figurines, quite a lot more. Then character goods, wall scrolls and tapestries, doujinshi, t-shirts, character goods, which I've already said, Dakimakura, excuse me, a lot of different things. And it's definitely an interesting hobby, and really, you know, it's been a rough ride, but would I ever take it back? Hell no. I love this to death. I love collecting. I love making these videos. I love doing blogs. I love talking about my collection. I like sharing this joy with others. And I'm going to do that for quite a long time because it's something that I really have a passion for. I wish I had more time in my life and more creativity and motivation, like when I was back in Fua Novel for a long time. I just can't find that spark right now. And maybe it's just because of this year. Maybe it's just because I've been having a kind of focus on me kind of lifestyle, but I'm hoping to definitely get back to that point because there's a lot of cool ideas I really want to share with you and a lot of cool things I really want to share with you guys. And I'm really excited to do so. But for today, I just kind of wanted to reminisce about my hobby just a little bit and also talk about some of my collection items. So you probably don't want to hear Ren rant for hours on end. So why don't we just get to some of the cool merchandise I bought? And, you know, hell, some of this stuff might be a little perverted to you, but yeah, what the heck? You might have some fun. I'm not even going to change out the camera. I'm just actually going to pick it up here. And we'll walk right over to most of the merchandise. So over here, you may have seen kind of on the side of the camera, or maybe not. This is the Roll 500 garage kit I ended up picking up from S-Mist. Now, there's a lot of different components to it, and this is my first garage kit I've ever purchased. I am going to actually get it painted later in the year. You'll notice that a lot of the material on here has not been shaved off, because literally they just kind of take the kit out, and then they don't do anything with it. So you'll notice on the hand it still has some of the plastic you need to ship off. The hair pieces are kind of all mixed in with the little plasticky pieces. So basically they just took this out of whatever they crafted this in and then just put it in a box. So it's definitely very interesting. I'm excited to make this Roll 500 because she has a 1/3 scale. Here's the body piece. Here's some of her legs. Here's her like little sailor flap, and then she has her face over here with some of the sandals and stuff you see. So it'll definitely be really interesting to put this together. I'm definitely really excited to do so, and I'm looking forward to it. It's pretty cool actually. So glad when it starts getting painted, fill in all the air bubbles, get the putty paint, paint it all up, and then get a really nice finished product. So 1/3 scale too. It's a pretty good size. They don't make a lot of those, and they definitely made it of the best character. At least in one of the best characters. I still think Matsukaze is the best, but let's be honest. And then I also ended up purchasing some posters as well. And there's 3 here. This one, of course, from Maybesoft. Maybesoft makes good porn, especially the Change game and Henshin, which was the panty one. Those 2 games are incredible. They have some really good imagery, and it's really fetishy, but also really like it's designed to be pure porn. And I definitely love the art because I think it's really high quality art, and definitely in terms of Nukige. And I ended up purchasing the second poster of the guy grabbing his breasts when he changes into the girl. And you'll notice in the room over here, you've seen some other stuff as well that I posted. There's going to be one on each side of my walls. This is the other one I wanted to print off. So this is a perfect example of being a pervert, right? I mean, but at the same time, like, I don't really care. People ask, why do you have some lewd things in your room? I guess it's just because, as I've said before, the posters are mainly to spice up the room. The more shit I have covering the walls, the more eye-catching and colorful it is. Japanese 2D animation is really colorful and catchy. I like to have things that people find sexy when they walk in, even though it's just cartoons, I guess, but at the end of the day, it's just kind of to spice up the room, and I kind of like it. I enjoy looking at it, and I enjoy the art, so that's why I got it. And the second image down here, we have another shoes work. I told you I print this one. It's about the size of the Rico in the other room. You can see in comparison to my hand. So I love this guy's work. Othelloice, the circle is just great, and I can't wait till Comic Hit 91. It's just great work. He does great stuff. I normally buy a lot of the Sprite stuff each year from Comic Hit because I'm a huge Okana fan. I absolutely love Okana to death. It's my favorite VN of all time, and it's a great game. But, I mean, I love his work. It's a guilty pleasure of mine. What can I really say? Excited to put that one up in the room, too. especially with the Dojin labels themselves. I kept that all in the actual imagery itself because it was kind of cool. So I'm glad my poster company decided to print this for me. I think they finally realized that I print all the lewd stuff, so they just are like, meh, what the heck, we'll let them do it. And then for you lolly fans out there, we have a lovely Vivio and Einhardt. I'm a huge Einhardt fan, and I knew a gentleman who was really into Einhardt as a character, and for some reason I really like her as a character. I've never seen this show, I've never watched this show, I don't even know what this show is about, but like what I said, Einhardt, I don't know if that's supposed to be a T or what the heck, whatever. This is a really large poster, you can tell by my hand size. It's about the size of her legs, so this is one of those large posters. It's about the size of the Yami poster. I'm going to need to find some room for this, but I definitely like Fujiaki, or Fujuki, I don't remember the artist's name, the guy who does the Nanoha work. My Chino Dakimakura, one of them is based off that, so I definitely like his work, and I'm glad I got this. I've done lolly videos before, and yeah, I like some lolly characters. I'm not saying they're bad. Different body types, but Einhardt's definitely up there. I have a Daki of her, and she's definitely one of my favorite characters. I'm definitely trying to find more t-shirts and merchandise with Einhardt that is a little more suggestive. I mean, you saw, you know, the one lolly poster in there, but with those guys, and that's also about the size of this. But yeah, it's fun material, I guess. And then, of course, we had the t-shirt. Now, you guys kind of saw that, but I'll go into a mirror over here so you can actually see it a little bit better. Apologies for the mess. This was the artist that did Clochette's game, right? I never would wear this in public, just for common decency purposes. There's no point to, right? On the back side here, it has a little bit of imagery. I can't really turn my back that well and get the full side, but it's a cow t-shirt, appropriately so, because she has enormous cow udders. And so I guess that's kind of the joke behind it. This is definitely a t-shirt you definitely see at Comic-Cat. For those of you looking to know the artist circle, it is, as I mentioned earlier, or may have mentioned, I might not have, Black Paper Fortune. Black Paper Fortune is the circle name, and I don't know the actual guy's name who does the art, but look it up. It's a good circle. I'm sure it's very popular each year. I love these t-shirts. They're the ones that are the athletic kind of t-shirts for sweat purposes. They're really fun to wear, so that was another item I ended up purchasing. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this video. I don't want to make it too long here for you, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. There's a lot of different content I want to keep putting out, and I'm hoping at some point I can do so. But I put O'Hara Rene up here for Island. But I mean, you know, it's just kind of videos come and go, and I just keep making them as I do. I mean, some of you may have seen that I got my Maki altar character. I don't know if that was in anything. You might have seen the box. I didn't do an unboxing video. I don't always do unboxing videos for everything. It's just kind of a meh hassle. Some items just come singular. So, yeah, that's about it, guys, and hope you guys enjoyed the video. That ass mouse pad is still ridiculous, and yeah, we'll catch you guys next time. So thanks for joining me, and hope you guys have a wonderful week. Peace out.